Okay, hello. Good morning to everybody. This is my name is Shuji Shiraki from Beyond. I'd like to introduce to you about Beyond and our fleet electrification, let's say, solutions that we offer. I hope the screen is visible to all of you. I'm assuming it is. Okay. So also, thanks for having me at the ZPN Energy to the event. And I'm also aware that we also have our vehicle exhibited also in the event. So for those of you who haven't seen the vehicles, please go and enjoy. There's a gentleman called Ian Armstrong from the International Motors, our partner, also there. Also, there's our UK sales manager from Beyond, Simon Curtin, also at the show. So they'll be at your disposal. So first of all, to explain to you, introduce you to you about what Beyond is. So we basically originated ourselves from the as an electric light commercial vehicle manufacturer. It was a startup originated from the Aachen University in Germany. Then this company was also acquired by Deutsche Post DHL Group, who was basically looking to electrify their fleet already from the early 2010s. And they acquired the company, they scaled the business. Currently, there's about 22,000, over 22,000 units already on the road, mainly in Germany. We also have several units also in Japan, also in United Kingdom. And so we have been already operating the electric fleet since 2014, which amounts up to 400 million kilometers of electric mileage already driven, CO2 also 78,000 tons saved. We've also have experience in electrifying depots of over 3,000, let's say, depots. Now, Beyond is a startup company focused around this last mile transportation space. And Beyond has acquired the business from Deutsche Post DHL in early 2022. And we're now scaling the business in Europe, including the UK, also to the Americas, and also to Asia. Just to also let you know where and how our vehicles are used. It's basically focused on the last mile, let's say, transportation for goods. What you see on the post and parcel, this is the use case for Deutsche Post DHL. It's being used every day to deliver the post and parcels. In Japan, we have a customers who's carrying dry and cold frozen goods. Also, it's used on the e-commerce. In the UK, we got the milk delivery company carrying 200 of our units carrying the milk every day, every morning. Also in the Netherlands, we have like supermarket also using our vehicles and also municipalities as well. Now, the key learnings that we have gained in the past, let's say 7 to 8 years of electrifying the fleet is the notion that just selling the vehicle is not enough. And particularly to the electric, let's say the fleet customers that are going electric, they typically need to think much wider than just replacing an ICE diesel vehicle. So what we are basically offering based on our accumulated knowledge and experience is a full suite of fleet electrification solutions, starting from the electrification, the planning. This is supporting the customers do the entire, let's say, the supporting the route analysis, the power demand analysis, the TCO, total cost of ownership simulation, also offering the most suitable electric vehicles for the customer's use case. We also have multiple certified partners in the charging infrastructure space that basically go and design the most suitable right-sized charging infrastructure for the customer's depots. The deployment support is more about onboarding the drivers, the depot managers, making sure that they are trained properly. Number 5 is more about the service network. Making sure that there's a scheduled maintenance to keep the uptime high. And even in the event that the downtime occurs, that the vehicles is back up on the road so that you don't lose any revenues. 6 and 7 and 8, these are our proprietary digital solutions that we have developed together with Deutsche Post to basically manage the uptime of the fleet, which is number 6. We're also developing the solutions to enhance the productivity of the drivers through an integrated app. And energy and charge management is a software that basically manages the energy flow so that we make sure that the power peak doesn't go through the peak demand, and we levelizes basically the energy cost throughout the day. And we offer all these solutions in one integrated price, all in one pricing. either on a monthly per unit basis, or we can also design it to the customer on a per mile basis. Now, it's a little bit difficult to grasp if you just hear this out. So what I want to show you now is actually a video of how this Beyond Electros offer actually works. I hope the video is running in your screen. And let me try to explain this to you. This is also a video that we have announced in the commercial vehicle show in Birmingham in April. So the process that we take is we take one depot of the customer, and then we basically run like the fleet electrification survey. We try to understand the current uptime, the current customer's use case, and thereby understanding that power demand. We then offer the, let's say, the electric vehicles from the Beyond portfolio that basically meets the customer's use case. Okay. And then we engage the charging partners to conduct this charging infrastructure design. The key point is how to minimize the capital expenditure from the customer. So making sure that we have the right size, let's say, chargers, and also making sure that there's no utility upgrade will be necessary. The deployment support is more about making sure that the vehicles are on time, the chargers are installed also on time. It requires a very strong orchestrated coordination to make that happen. And we also support the customers in the onboarding process of the software. We also train the depot managers in how to utilize these softwares. And we also provide trainings to the drivers in how to, for example, use the recuperation brakes effectively so that they can manage the energy cost low. Our vehicles are all equipped with a telematics control unit, which basically collects the data real time. So we basically store that in our Beyond's back end. And we, for example, use this to make sure that the preventive maintenance is always done. We also try to monitor which are the, let's say, the vehicles that needs proactive actions in terms of servicing. And then for the softwares, we basically have one software for the fleet managers that manages the fleet health, as what we call it, meaning that keeping the uptime high, ensuring which vehicles is charged, where the vehicles are currently located, when was it last used. And then we can also show basically at the fleet level and also at the vehicle level. So this is the software that is also being used in the Deutsche Post fleet right now. We're also developing the solution for the drivers, where the drivers could actually see their vehicle. They can also see how well they're driving their electric vehicle, and they can also do like a daily checkup of the vehicle using this app. Typically in the last mile transportation use case, the vehicles come back late afternoon or so, but we use this, let's say, the charging scheduler function and also the energy management function to avoid like an energy peak going up at the most expensive rate of the day. And we basically make sure that the energy cost is levelized. So we basically call this all these different sets of solution as the Electros to support customers increase their uptime, the productivity, and the total cost of ownership. So I hope this video kind of gave you kind of picture of what's the process that we take in actually offering this Electro solutions. So a little bit going more into the detail about each of the solutions, kind of like trying to classify them into the vehicles, charging software, and the energy. This is the, let's say, the sets of solutions of the vehicles we have. Again, we have the version with the box in the middle with around 125-mile driving range. This is actually more than sufficient in the last mile use cases typically. Then we basically have a cab chassis version that is more at the, let's say, a little bit higher in terms of the chassis height, and the one that calls Giga Pure is more lower, which makes it easier for the drivers to get in and also get out into the cargo that you will be able to customize and design. So all these vehicles are currently produced in Germany, in Düren. So this is a made in, let's say, Europe, made in Germany product. And we are also developing, having the readiness for the right-hand drive, which should be coming also within this year. So this is also the product that you will be able to see outside in the venue with our colleagues. Okay. In terms of the charging infrastructure, so we've explained to you that we've already electrified several thousand of Deutsche Post depots. And through that, we basically learn that each depot is very specific Each location warehouse is very, it has its own limitations in terms of the power distributions and whatnot. So it's really important that we take step by step and depot by depot approach in actually laying out the charging infrastructure that is most suitable for the customer. Also in terms of the, let's say the user cycles, but also in terms of cost. These are just showing different types of let's say the installation types. The wall mounted, which is the most typical one. The pole mounted one is if you have more like a vast land, and then this is like a where you cannot hang on a wall, you would typically go for this. Overhang is like a type where the fleet operator wants to secure the maximum space for their vehicles. And this is also more from a usability perspective, the most, let's say, the convenient. There's always obviously pros and the cons of each of the types, but our style is that we work together with the charging partners, also with the utility companies, to make sure that the customers gets the most suitable, let's say, the infrastructure that they need. In terms of the software that we have also demonstrated in the video, this is kind of like the structure of how our, let's say, the system backend and the front end is structured. So as I told you, the electric RB on vehicle is equipped with a telematics control unit, which basically collects all the data. And also, as a matter of fact, in Germany, our Mercedes, Volkswagen, Ford vehicles for Deutsche Post, they're also equipped with our telematics control unit. So the key message for many of the fleet operators is that our software is brand agnostic. It can also be basically collecting data from different vehicles through the means of API or from the telematics integration. So this is really a EV specific, brand agnostic software that the customers can enjoy, which the data we collect will be used to power the driver's application for the drivers, fleet data management for the fleet managers to manage their uptime, and also energy and charge management more for the facility managers to make sure whether the charging is functioning properly and also if the energy is being saved. Yeah. We also have energy storage solutions, which I want to elaborate on the next page, is because our vehicles have already been operating since 2014, 2000, let's say 15-ish, we already have 7 to 8 years of life in the first life, and we actually have in practice, in reality, the first life battery coming back, and we are actually using those battery as a second life battery to package them into electrical energy storage. And we have already been commercializing this product in some of the depots for the Deutsche Post. And this is also supporting Deutsche Post, let's say, the sustainability agenda to make their carbon neutral depots, so that it becomes like it functions like a microgrid through collecting the power through solar panels, then storing those energies in the storage, then using that stored energy to power, let's say, the building and also the electric vehicles during the most, let's say, the expensive time of the day. This business model basically also drastically reduces the energy cost, and it also basically supports the decarbonization of the operations. So we also see many customers also going into this space. Our experience also tells us that many customers, they first want to electrify their fleet, and then more they, let's say, operate their electric fleet, they get more interested in testing out like a new models, like solar panels, electrical energy storage, and so on. And our solutions are also designed in a way that it's future-proof, so that the customers can start small, but they can also then scale it to a more greener solutions over time. That's how we basically have also gained experience in the 22,000 units fleet, that the solutions needs to be evolving, and the customers' needs will also evolve, and we will also need to be accommodating those needs over time in the long term. In terms of UK, where which is our strategic core market, I just want to also re-emphasize that we have signed the partnership with the International Motors. We are very proud to be partnering with such a prestige company in the UK, and they will be the one distributing and also servicing our vehicle in the United Kingdom. We've also partnered with the EO Charging. They're more fleet charging infrastructure company that offers like a charging hardware installations, also the O&M, operational management services, to like a big fleet operator like Amazon. So they will also be the one that will be supporting us in offering this electro solutions in a one-stop turnkey solutions manner. I hope that kind of gave you a good snapshot of what we are, who we are, what we do, how we do it. And I'm really sorry that I could not be with you on site, but we got Ian Armstrong and also Simon Curtin from Beyond team there. So maybe you would be able to catch up with them in case you have more further interests. So thank you very much. That was it from my side.